Hi everyone, it's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what it's really like to be bullied for Star Wars. Now, they've been trying to cover up the failure of Solo with the story about Kelly Marie Tran, John Boyega lashing out, and then their recent story about George Lucas. I'm not happy about any of those. I have attached links to my videos where I talk about them in the description, so go check them out. But today, with the story about bullying, I'm going to be talking about my own personal experience. And it's kind of painful to relive this, but because they're trying to use the excuse that Star Wars fans are the ones that bully innocent women like Kelly Marie Tran, I'm going to give them a little dip of reality by telling you guys my own personal experience about bullying. Now, I'm just going to come right out and say it. I do know what I look like now. I do know the way people react to the way that I look, and I'm very aware of it because of what happened to me when I was a kid. And yes, I appreciate everyone's comments about my looks and thanks. I am one of those people that I don't know how to take a compliment because of what happened. Now, when I tell you guys this, just take in mind that it was a long time ago and I have grown from it and I don't let it affect me the way that I used to when I was a kid. So here we go. So like I've said to you guys before in my other videos, I've always been known as the weird Star Wars girl, and that didn't bother me when I was a kid because, you know, when you're a kid, nothing people say matter to you. You don't care, and you don't get that way until you grow up a little bit and you're introduced to all those social standards that are placed there to make your life a living hell, basically, growing up. And when I was in middle school, you know, everyone's going through that awkward puberty phase and everyone's changing, and I was a very late developer. All the other girls were putting on makeup, doing their hair, dressing all nice, and I'm still the one that's like, oh, let me put a ponytail right here and one right here. Let me wear my weird Star Wars t-shirt, which was actually pretty awesome, but everyone else thought it was weird. Let me voice my opinions. Let me not be afraid to say something that's probably going to embarrass me and say something that, you know, maybe some of the other girls aren't going to like because I'm not a girly girl. Which, yeah, when I was a little kid, I was really into princesses. Then I got into Star Wars, made me who I am. So this moment is one that I'm never going to forget because it really changed who I was, and it really made me open my eyes to how evil the world could be to a child. Gosh, it's like even painful just to think about. So it was my first school dance, and I wasn't a big girly girl. I wanted to be the most tomboy you could possibly be, which was a big flip for me when I was a little kid. And first school dance, all of my friends, you know, all my girlfriends, they all came over to my house because I had, you know, the big house on the ranch, and everyone liked coming because of all the animals. But everyone's like, let's go to Anna's house, let's get ready, you know, we can play with the animals, and then we'll all get ready and go. What I didn't know they actually had planned was they were all going to give me a makeover, and it was one of those painful makeovers that you see in one of those chick flicks where, you know, the girl's all dorky looking and then they make her all gorgeous. And I mean, I didn't feel gorgeous when they did me up. I look back at pictures and I'm like, oh my god, that's what I wore. But they put me in a skirt, they did my hair, they put makeup on me, they gave me those little baby heels that you wear when you're like 12 years old. I think I was actually like 10 or 11 when this happened. And we went to the school dance. Cool. I don't like dancing, or at least my mother put me in dance for 12.5 years and I hated every second of it. And so going to a school dance, I wasn't excited about it because I'm like, my mom has to drag me to my dance class every week, and now I'm like I'm paying willingly to go to this dance. I was not happy about it, but I was excited to hang out with my friends all together outside of school. So that I was excited about. So we get there and everyone's just kind of giving me weird looks and nobody knew who I was. Or at least the girls didn't know who I was. And then, you know, we're dancing or having fun. I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. And then, you know, a slow song comes on. And when you're in middle school, it's not like, you know, where you do like the whole like, ooh, romantic slow dance. It's that weird, you know, shoulders, waist, you just move back and forth, kind of slow dance. And so I didn't have to worry about it. I just went and I sat down. Me and all my girlfriends were sitting down. And then this boy came up to us. And it wasn't just any boy. He was an 8th. So my middle school, it goes 6th to 8th. He was an 8th grader. And he wasn't just any 8th grader. He was the most popular boy in school. And he came up and he asked me, and I had never spoken to him before. His brother and I were in the same class, but he and I had never spoken. And he asked me if I wanted to dance. And immediately I said no. And he's like, okay, and he walked away. And all my friends look at me, they're like, Anna, are you stupid? Why the heck would you say no? And I was like, I don't know him. Like, why do I want to? I was like, I don't like dancing. I don't want to dance with him. I want to hang out with all of you guys. Like, why would I go and dance with a boy? And I don't know how to dance. I don't want to dance. I don't know him. And I'd rather stay here and hang out with my friends and talk. Why would I go dance with him? And they were like, oh my gosh, Anna, like, what are you thinking? And so all of them like turned around unanimously. Were like, she changed her mind. She's sorry. She was nervous. Like, come dance with her. And so they made me dance with him. And again, I didn't know how to dance. I didn't know that the girl was supposed to put her hands around his neck like this and the guy's supposed to put her hands around your waist. I had only seen from, movies, ballroom dancing. So you put your hand on the guy's shoulder and you put your hand on the hand, but he didn't put his hand out. So I put my hand on his waist and I was dancing like this. And everyone was like, Anna, no, like this. And I was like, oh, okay. And I switched it. And then like other people were like coming around dancing and all the girls were like giving me looks and I was like, what the? It was the most awkward experience ever. And I was like, all right, well, I guess that was dancing with a boy. Not that great. I don't know what the big hype is about. And so I went back and hung out with my friends and I acted like that the whole thing never happened. But then constantly, like the whole next week, everyone kept coming up to me, oh my God, Anna, and the guy's name was Eric. Like, oh my gosh, you and Eric danced with one another? And I was like, yeah, like what's the big deal? And they're like, what happened? Tell me everything. And I'm like, not a big deal. He asked me to dance. I said no, and then my friends made me. That's what happened. And I was more so embarrassed at the fact that I didn't know how to dance than everyone asking me. And then finally, this was going on like literally 20 billion questions every time I ran into another person for an entire week. Then finally we're standing in the lunch line and some older girls are asking me about it. And again, I was in 6th grade. They were in 8th grade. They're asking me about it. They're like, oh my gosh, Eric asked you to dance. Are you guys going to date? And this one girl turned around and she and I were in the same grade and we were kind of friends. We had like a mutual best friend. But she turned around and she was so frustrated and she looked at everyone and she says, oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore. It was a bet. And he got paid $5 to ask the weird Star Wars girl to dance. And when she said it, literally everyone was in the lunch line. And she said it so loud. And it was the first time I ever remember like wanting to go and run and hide under a pillow. And everyone just looked at me and some of the girls started giggling. And then she made it even worse by saying, yeah, why would he ever want to dance with someone like you? And I was like, I didn't even want to dance with him. And now I'm getting made fun of because he got dared to ask me to dance because I was weird. And yes, I didn't look this way when I was in 6th grade. I didn't know how to do my makeup. I didn't wear makeup. My hair was crazy and fluffy. And I wore Star Wars t-shirts. And because of that, I was getting made fun of and people were getting paid to dance with me. And I was just so angry because I didn't even ask for it. I didn't ask to be made fun of. I didn't ask for my friends to force me to go dance with them. I didn't ask for a makeover and they forced me into it. And after that moment, I didn't feel comfortable leaving the house not dolled up. Because if I didn't get dolled up, I was just going to be that weird Star Wars girl that people get paid to spend time with. And that's the only way people would want to spend time with me, at least boys. And I didn't even like boys yet. I'm sorry. And so that really changed me. And that was right before summer vacation. So when I went home and I talked to my mom, and yes, I do not have a good relationship with my mother, but my mother knows what it's like to be bullied. So she sat down and she talked to me and she told me that girls are always going to be like that, and she felt horrible that I had to learn the truth that way. And she said, you know what, you have to protect yourself and you have to know how to be strong and to not let them know that they are getting to you and to not let them know that they hurt you. And so taking that in, I learned that girls are going to make fun of me, and boys, they're going to pay each other to talk to me. So I learned that if I make myself presentable in a way that they can't make fun of me for, they can't touch me. So I started doing my hair, I started doing my makeup, I started dressing appropriately. Yes, I still wore my Star Wars t-shirts, but I wore them in a more fashionable way. And I remember just going into 7th grade and everyone, it was a complete 180. Everyone was like, whoa, what happened to Anna? And even one of my teachers, and all of my teachers always liked me because I wasn't a teacher's pet, but I always did my homework. I always knew all the answers. I was on top of my stuff because I actually liked learning, ironically. And I remember my history teacher, who is still to this day one of the best teachers I've ever had, and he even said, he's like, okay, I just need to address this. This is a new school year. You are out getting a little older, but dang, Anna never used to like do her hair and her makeup. Like, oh my gosh, he's like, I'm feeling old. Like, you kids are growing up. And it's still is valid to this day. I mean, if I go to work without my makeup and my hair done, people are like, oh my gosh, are you sick? Are you dying? And then I come on here on YouTube and yes, I have my face on, I have my hair done. It's just a natural part of my day. And no, it doesn't take a lot of money, and it doesn't take me a lot of time. It takes me not even 10 minutes to do my face. And I mean, that's if I'm being lazy about it. I have a lot of hair, so yeah, it takes a little bit of time to do this, but it's just a natural part of my day. It's like brushing my teeth. It's just something I do when I wake up. And it sucks to know that now I've been bullied to the point where I don't even feel comfortable leaving the house without makeup on, and to the exact opposite, where I get slammed for wearing makeup and for doing my hair. And I mean, just read some of the comments in my past videos. People will just destroy me for wearing makeup, and in all honesty, it's not that big of a deal. It's not. And I've grown a lot since that happened to me, but it's made me realize how shallow the world can be. And it sucks because I literally just wanted to go to school and hang out with my friends and just be me, and knowing that I'm gonna get teased and bullied for just being me and for loving Star Wars and for being a weird Star Wars girl, it really sucks. And that's what bullying is really like. This whole thing with Kelly Marie Tran getting plastered on Instagram, I'm sure that it happened. I mean, look at any of my videos and look at the comments. Look at anyone that's on the internet. You're gonna get bullied. But I mean, being a child and getting thrown down in front of everyone because you don't fit their social norms because you like Star Wars, like, I can relate, girl, to the whole bullying thing on Instagram and social media, but when it happens in real life, that has a huge effect on a person. And I'm sure she's been bullied too, but how dare they try to take Star Wars and say that we're all horrible Star Wars fans because, there might have been one asshole that's a Star Wars fan that attacked her. I mean, there's going to be horrible people in every aspect of life, and it sucks that that's going to happen. And girl, I am so sorry for what they did to you and what they said to you, and I've been there. People suck. That's the majority of it. And you just got to get through it. And it's going to help shape you. I mean, to me, it took me a long time to be confident with myself and to know that it's okay to love Star Wars and it's okay to be vocal about that. And I'm wearing this t-shirt that my dad got me, and it says "Stay Weird," because he knows that I'm weird, and my dad knew like what I went through. And I mean, it didn't even stop in middle school. Even when I went to high school, and, you know, then it went from like the aspect of like, you know, girls had been teasing me for a long time, and then it became boys that were teasing me and saying that I was weird and that I wasn't good enough. And it didn't matter what I looked like. People are going to be mean to you no matter what. And I learned that the hard way. And so if anyone out there is dealing with being bullied for what you look like or what you're into, screw them. They don't matter. At the end of the day, it's about what makes you happy. And what makes me happy is being myself and loving Star Wars. So if that makes you happy, just be yourself. That is going to be the answer to, honestly, a majority of your problems. Stay true to who you are. And if you like something, that's fine. Don't care. Don't even listen to what other people think, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be the one making your decisions. They're not going to be there with you when times are hard. They're just people that you're going to encounter for a speck of your life. So do what makes you happy. I hope that me telling this story kind of opens some people's eyes about the effects that bullying can actually have, and that it's not just minorities and women and, you know, people in the public eye that get bullied. Every single person has probably been bullied at least once in their life. So to everyone that had to go through something like that, I am so sorry. And I wish I could give you like a virtual hug for it. And like I said, people suck. Don't let them get to you. I let them get to me for a long time. And the second that I stopped caring and just stayed true to who I am, that's when it really made a difference in my life, and I started to finally be happy. So that's the best advice I can give to anyone, is just be yourself. And the people that are going to cut you down for it, they're just unhappy in their own lives. So don't let them affect yours. Have a great day, everyone, and may the force be with you.